Soundocore Space Q45. Headphones with a very good price. And how is the quality of these headphones? Let's find out. In terms of design, I have already spoken partially in my unboxing. Also, if anyone hasn't watched it and would like to see what's in the box, I invite you to get back there. As for the design, I stand by my opinion. I like these headphones. The construction is really quite solid for such a price shelf. The only thing that bothers me a bit is their volume or width. I say about that part. I will put them on now. And notice from the side they stand out quite a bit, and I will admit that if they were a bit narrower, smaller, the smaller heads, especially heads like my female head, would look a little better in them. The other thing is that these are not the lightest headphones, and while such shorter use didn't cause me discomfort, using them for 2.5 hours to 3 hours, I was already starting to feel that weight on my head a bit. These headphones have button controls. The buttons are located on both the left and the right earpiece. On the left earpiece we have on, off, and switches between ANC mode, normal and transparency. On the right earpiece we have play, pause. We also have volume buttons and track controls, which are long press depending on whether we want to undo or skip a track. The controls, in my opinion, are quite intuitive, although I had to some getting used to the placement of these buttons, but once I got used to them, I didn't cause any problem here. The working time of these headphones, according to the producer, is 50 hours in ANC mode. I personally charge these headphones somewhere around 10 or 9 days, 9 or 10 days, so I think these are really great results. You have to remember that I didn't always just happen to turn them off after use, so when I didn't turn them off, the battery life resource got shorter. On the other hand, I think this is really a very good result for the headphones at that price. The only thing I have complained about is a charging cable, which is simply too short in my opinion. On the other hand, it's not some major problem either, because the headphones are charged via USB-C, so I suspect that each of us has some of cables at home, so you can replace the cable with any problems. And in addition, charging 5 minutes extends your working time by then 4 hours, so this is really a great result. Now let's move to the app. Here the first thing that greets us is of course the marking of the headphones. Then we have ambient sounds, so noise cancelling, normal and transparency mode. In transparency mode we have custom transparency mode, so we can have the ability to set the level to ourselves, and we also have the option so-called talk mode, but then the music is muted to amplify outside voices, and the music is really very much muted, so this should be taken into account. And now the noise cancelling. We have also the 5 modes we can adjust to us, and we have adaptive noise cancellation, and we can switch between them. Then we have something like safe volume, that is, if we fear about our hearing, we can set a volume limit, As we play music, we can see in real time how loud we are listening to the headphones. And now we have the controls. I've already talked about the controls, but I will also add that where we have the on-off buttons, we can also add a bass up function by double-clicking. Sound effect. We had Heard ID sound, default and custom, but I will talk more about that during the sound quality. And here we have the settings. Here the sound mode. I will set it to the LDAC. However, when you would have two devices connected, because these headphones support multiport, then you will not have these options active. So either LDAC or multiport, there is simply no other options. And now we have the auto power off options. That is, we can schedule ourselves in what time the headphones are to be turned off, or they are not to be turned off at all. And of course, then the update software. Among other things, I recommend installing this application, because actually from the beginning, when I fired up these headphones, the first thing that awaited me was a software update. And now, how these headphones perform on ANC and transparency modes. Transparency mode is quite okay and lets a lot of sound through. I feel okay on this mode. What more important for me is the ANC. And here I'm really surprised, because while we shouldn't expect it to be a mute, like for example in Sony XM5 or in Bose headphones, however, for that price, these headphones do really well. The attenuation of such mid frequencies like passing cars, like a running air conditioner, or even a passing cleaning robot works really well. These sounds are really well muted. In the case of ANC, we have adaptive ANC, and you can set yourself several levels of this ANC from 1 to 5. I confess that I use these headphones on the highest level of ANC, and in terms of the way of suppression, I'm very satisfied. The only places where these headphones performs worse are the higher frequencies, like some squeaks, baby crying, and for example, if my kids were watching a cartoon and there are some squeaky voices, I can definitely hear it. Call quality. I'm also very positively surprised, because even talking to my callers on a busy street, they didn't hear, for example, passing cars, or heard them very little. The only sounds they just heard were similar to an ANC, such higher frequencies like bus stopped and some point was moving, so they heard the engine running loudly. In addition, what my callers pointed out to me was that with these headphones, my voice doesn't sound very natural. I sound like I'm in some kind of tube. This has been pointed out to me by at least 3 people. But in terms of how I can be heard and how the background is muffled during conversation, it's really very good. As for latency, I will say this: if you want 100% latency elimination, you need to use these headphones with a cable. On the other hand, this delay on Bluetooth is minimal. That is, that if someone hadn't told me, listen, now we are checking the audio delay, it's really hard to notice this delay. And when it comes to the Bluetooth, we have Bluetooth 5.3, which doesn't break the connection. My apartment is very long, and these headphones, like most higher and headphones only lose connection at the very end. So I think the Bluetooth connection here is very good. In addition, what else needs to be mentioned is, as I said during the unboxing, here we have a cable for using these headphones in wired mode. And I will honestly admit that I most often use these headphones this way. And the cool thing is that also when connecting these headphones with a cable to the computer, ANC transparency mode works. This is not also obvious with some headphones. And the other thing, these headphones don't play much quieter than, for example, during a Bluetooth connection. And now the sound quality. Here we have 40mm drivers, high-res audio, and the LDAC codec. I listen these headphones on several devices. First, connected by cable to a computer, on an Android device with LDAC, and on the iPhone. The best sound will be obtained, of course, on the devices with the LDAC, and the worst sounded to me simply on the iPhone. These headphones are very strongly codec dependent. In addition, these headphones sound a little different on transparency mode and ANC mode. In my opinion, they sound a little better on transparency. And now, as I turned it on the first time, I thought to myself, all in all, it's not so bad, because in most cheaper headphones, the main role is played by the bass, because with the bass it's easy to cover any weaknesses of the headphones. Here I was surprised that this bass doesn't play the main role and these headphones play quite equally. On the other hand, after a long time, I can only say that this is not the strongest bass you can find in headphones. It's not the bass known from the headphones, they are slightly higher quality. This is not bass that you will feel with all your body. I know that such a feeling is felt when we're listening music on good speakers, but they are headphones that are able to approximate this feeling, and it's not these headphones. It's not that low descending bass that will move you inside. It's not the bass known, for example, from the Sennheiser headphones. This bass, in places, I have the impression that is a bit glued to the rest. The mid-range is so a bit backed off and dimmed, not really open. The treble is nice from the angle that it doesn't hiss. Instead, for the most part, it's so relaxing. But there are many moments when listening to music that is a bit more detail-oriented, like Sade, Pink Floyd, the old Marillion, or for example, in the Iron Maiden track Seventh Son, there is a moment when the plates play in a very selective way. And here, those plates in places start to blend together a bit on these headphones. The second thing is that we also have a bass up options here, which means we can give that bass a little boost. However, I don't recommend turning this function on because the bass gets a little unnatural and very much already overshadow other tones. The second thing is that these headphones are very much sensitive to settings in the equalizer. First, we have the Her ID option, which is such an option that the application plays us a certain song. It repeats itself for a certain period of time. The app asks us to say whether we heard the sound or not, and based on that, the individual sound curve is created. And let me tell you, I'm not 100% satisfied with this option. It gently improved the sound for me, while it's not what I 100% expected. I think this option is probably more for people who have trouble hearing in one ear to the other. On the other hand, the advantage is that after the curve is created, we can use the equalizer to further adjust the sound. Another thing is the preset that we have available here in the app. There are quite a few of them, and overall the sound is sensitive to these changes. In my opinion, the best sound is in acoustic profile. This profile opens up these headphones very nicely, expand this scene a little. We are able to hear more detail, and here too, if we choose the acoustic profile, we can also use the equalizer to adjust this curve. And of course, we have the third option, which is a typical equalizer, where we can easily make our own sound profile from the beginning. I think that for the price of plus or minus 100 euro, these headphones sound pretty good. And now, do I recommend these headphones? These headphones in many aspects are really great. Very good battery life, pretty good design, and also pretty good comfort. Of course, I point out that I think that people with a larger head will feel a little better in these headphones, among other things because of the weight. It seems to me, however, that it's worth bearing in mind that when buying these headphones for such a price, we don't get the same as we get in Bang & Olufsen or Bowers & Wilkins headphones. If we are aware of this, it seems to me that these headphones are a pretty good choice. I bought these headphones mainly for editing videos and for simply listening to content on the computer. And for this role, they work really well for me. I suspect that if we are looking for headphones typically for listening to music, not for listening to content or editing videos, and I could add money, I would direct my attention in a slightly different direction. Still, I think that for 70% of users, these headphones will be, especially at this price, really sufficient. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next videos. Take care and bye.